This is Alexander Playtime Williams of PlayTimeCares.com.
What's up, world? This is Alexander Playtime Williams of PlayTimeCares.com, giving you your full Raw recap from March 7, 2016. This one was in Chicago, Illinois. You had JBL, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton as your commentators. They started off this Raw with a Raw recap of Vince McMahon getting checked by The Undertaker and pretty much saying, look, once that cage closes in WrestleMania for the Hell in the Cell match against Shane McMahon, the blood of your son will be on your hands, Vince McMahon. Then he walks out the ring. Then Vince McMahon said, "Look, I'm renouncing my son. He's no longer my son. I'm taking away his heritage." So of course, Shane McMahon comes out to the ring to huge applause. Everybody was excited to see him again. And he pretty much said something that a lot of people have been, a lot of the people in the WWE universe have been saying for a while, that Vince McMahon is out of touch with real wrestling in the wrestling universe. And, people that shouldn't have gotten over and gotten all the breaks have gotten plenty of them. The people that should have gotten over and gotten the breaks haven't been getting of them. He said he's going to change that once he actually beats The Undertaker at WrestleMania and take control of Raw. He say it's just his destiny to do it. So Vince McMahon comes out where he uses the Undertaker music and the light shut off. So people got excited and Vince McMahon walked out instead. And it was like, what, you was expecting somebody else? Then the people broke into CM Punk chants. And he was like, whatever. Then he said that, Shane is out the wheel. Stephanie's going to get everything. And, she brings out a picture of Shane McMahon when he was a little bitty kid. I think he said was 5. He's like, this is me holding you when you was about to go to your first WWF match. He's like, but since you're not my son anymore, he just drops the picture, the frame shattered. He steps on it. He's like, this don't even matter anymore. And then he said that his greatest creation will put to rest his greatest failure, saying that The Undertaker's greatest connection was going to pretty much put his greatest failure, Shane McMahon, out of his misery. And he called security to get Shane out the ring. Shane tells security guards, look, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling froggy today. Don't touch me. I'll leave on my own. Vince McMahon was like, no, make him get out. And then Shane McMahon fought all 4 security guards and, knocked them out. Then left. Then you have your first match. You got Kevin Owens versus Neville. And this actually was a great match. Plenty of high-risk moves. And it ended with Kevin Owens holding Neville's shorts to get the pin victory. And it was that match, if it was a little bit longer, that match would have actually been maybe like a 4 type match. But this was a 3 out of 5 match for me. An average match with a lot of good, a lot of high points. This actually could have been a 4 if they'd have let them fight a little bit longer. Something like a potential classic match. Kevin Owens kept attacking Neville after the match until Sami Zayn ran out. Of course, everybody went crazy over that. And, he attacked Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens left. So then they did a Raw recap of Triple H beating up Roman Reigns. Then Triple H saying, not to challenge authority. And which let Dean Ambrose come out and told Triple H he think he's scared of him. Let him get a title shot and all that. Triple H like, I'll let you know by the end of the night. And the night comes. He tell the League of Nations to jump Dean Ambrose laid out. He goes and tell him, hey, don't challenge the authority. Dean Ambrose attacks him. Then he's like, you know what, you're gonna get your title match. He goes and he beats on he gives Dean Ambrose the title match. Dean Ambrose like, thank you. And then he just beat him until people pulled him off on top of the announcer's table. So they cut away to Dolph Ziggler talking with Zack Ryder, and Zack Ryder's eyes get big, and he sees somebody coming, and he just leave. And it's Stephanie McMahon, and Stephanie was like, hey, Zack. He waved to him because he jetted out so fast. He said, look, Dolph, I'm glad you took down that tweet that you had that was disparaging towards the authority. And he's like, hey, whatever. I just know that, Shane McMahon, the type of person that he'll do anything to win. So, history repeats itself. I sit there and took care of your whole team in a Survivor Series match and got you out of power. Or maybe this time Shane to do the same thing. He'll get you out of power for good this time. So Stephanie McMahon was like, you know what? It's out of your mouth. I'm putting you in a tag team elimination match with the League of Nations, three of the League of Nations people. Oh, and you won't have a tag team partner. So you put it in a handicap tag team elimination match, which essentially means you got a 3-on-1 fight. You just have to fight them one at a time. So your second match will be Brie Bella versus Summer Rae, and they started off with a Total Divas preview. This match was slow, it's back and forth, but it's slow action, and it didn't get exciting until Lana music hit and she comes out. Everybody got excited in the crowd. Bria's distracted. Summer Rae gets, grabs her from behind, roll up for a pin. She wins. And then Lana comes in the ring and attacks Brie and lays out. Match is a 2 out of 5, just your average match. Dean Ambrose comes to the ring and say he's screwing up everything by getting in this match with Triple H, and he could potentially screw up WrestleMania by winning the belt from Triple H. Triple H comes out and said he gonna be the champ as long as he want to be the champ. It's none of that. And Dean Ambrose, well, if that's the case, then fight me right now. Triple H said, nope, you're gonna wait till Saturday at Roadblock, but you will fight tonight. You're gonna fight Bray Wyatt. Third match, you got Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus, Rusev, and King Barrett. That's the three. Norberto Del Rio even ringside. The handicap tag team elimination match, and Dolph Ziggler was able to knock out King Barrett, but the numbers game was too much. They just went ahead and whooped them. Match was a 2 out of 5, just average match. Then you had a recap of Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon's in action earlier. Then they showed a montage of Shane O'Mac and how he's been throughout the years, just showing the energy that he have. And they cut away to Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks talking about how they each should have been the number one contender for the title at WrestleMania against Charlotte. But they're like, look, we got to put that to the side. We got Naomi and Tamina tonight. And, they're like, all right, whatever. So the fourth match, of course, is Naomi and Tamina versus Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. And Charlotte and Ric Flair sitting ringside. It was too quick of a match. They could have actually let them wrestle a little bit further. Sasha Banks was able to get the backstab on Naomi and, made her submit. So they got the pin victory, 2 out of 5. Charlotte ends up attacking Sasha Banks in the ring and leaving because, that's what she does. So they cut away to R-Truth. He was bringing in a Chicago-style deep dish pizza on his shoulder. Mark Henry was like, hey, man, what's that? He's like, don't worry about it. He goes find Goldust and be like, look, here, I'm delivering the pizza. Goldust like, what you doing? He said, I'm trying to act like you to show you that I want the tag team now. He's like, no, you're not. Everybody know that I'm allergic, I'm lactose intolerant. I eat this and my butt's going to explode. And R-Truth was like, man, I didn't know that. He's like, yeah, you're supposed to know this type of stuff about your tag team partner. He stormed off. R-Truth was like, man, my bad, I didn't know. He goes after him, leaves the pizza, and Mark Henry was like, ooh, I love Chicago, and picks up the pizza, and he goes. And, of course, everybody in Chicago was cheering it and laughing about it. So then they showed a recap of WrestleMania from 1998, where you had HBK versus Stone Cold with Mike Tyson as a special guest referee. Go just check that out on the WWE Network. You can search that one and get that up. Then they did a Raw recap of Y2 AJ beating the New Day from Raw last week. So the fifth match is obviously Y2 AJ versus the New Day for the tag team titles. And, it was a normal pace match until AJ got the match. And then all of a sudden, the energy just shot through the roof. And they had a lot of falls going back and forth, man. It was, a lot of near falls. It was 2.5s on both sides. New Day put on a great show. Y2 AJ put on a great show. But Coffee and Big E got a real good tag team maneuver going on. I think that was Y2J actually was up on Big E's shoulder, and they did it, almost won it. AJ Styles interfered and continued the match, and then it was Big E and Y2J still in the ring, and Y2J tried to put that cold break on him, but Big E was just too strong, and he actually picked him up and put him on that shoulder and did his finishing move on him. So the New Day actually maintained the titles, and they didn't really cheat to win it. They didn't cheat to keep it. It was a straight up match, and then I mean, it was just great action. This is either a really, really strong three match, where it's a average match with a really, really strong action, or it's a four. Depending on who you are and how long you've been watching wrestling, this could be a potential classic. So AJ Styles was helping Y2J up in the ring, and Y2J delivered three cold breakers on him, and then stuffed the Y2 AJ shirts in AJ Styles' mouth. So they did an interview. And he's like, "Hey, why you just attack AJ Styles?" He was like, "Man, I'm tired of me putting in all this work, and all I hear is AJ Styles." So he pretty much said he was tired of the crowd constantly chanting for him, and he putting on work. He putting in all that work. So the sixth match was actually Kalisto versus Tyler Breeze. Very quick match. Salida Del Sol, boom, finisher. Tyler Breeze out there, 2 out of 5. Then they showed who's the new inductee into the 2016 WWE Hall of Fame class, and it's the Big Boss Man. That is well deserved. Post-mortem, Big Boss Man died a couple of years back, a few years back actually at this point, but he definitely was a real big staple, and he actually had great crowd interaction. Just look at some of his stuff on the WWE Network. He come out there, people either loved him or hate him. This is before all of this. This has nothing to do with the social stuff now. We're talking about he was making people hate, cops back then. He was really good at his job, so he definitely deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. And then Kalisto was being interviewed about his win and going on to WrestleMania and having the U.S. title. And Ryback comes out and say, "Hey, I'm not in WrestleMania. Look at me. Look at the size of this guy. Why am I not having a match? Why am I not featured?" He tell Kalisto, "Look, man, you need to go solo. Tag teams hold you back. Watch what I do to this tag team called the Social Outcasts." So, of course, the seventh match is going to be Social Outcasts versus Ryback. They decided, since Heath Slater got beat up last week, Axl Rose going to take a stab at Ryback. Well, the numbers ain't couldn't even help him. Ryback whooped him, got the pin victory on him. So that match was about a 2 out of 5 as well. It was pretty average. Then they had another recap of Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon in the action from earlier. Then Vince McMahon was approached by Stephanie. He was like, "Look, Dad, I'm kind of worried because Shane will do anything. He throws caution to the wind. He's fearless. He might do whatever it takes to actually win that match." Vince was like, "Look, I got this." I pretty much saying, "Hey, I think I have a contingency plan just in case." So your eighth match was Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. And before he even started the match, Bray Wyatt cut a promo saying, "Look, at Roadblock, I'm going to show you why I should be feared. And, I'm going to, conquer the conqueror. I'm going to beat Brock Lesnar." And then they did a Royal Rumble recap of Brock Lesnar getting jumped by the Wyatt family, which caused him to actually get eliminated in the Royal Rumble. And then they wrestled, and it was pretty much an ordinary match. It wasn't very good. Once Dean Ambrose got the upper hand, lights went out. When the lights came back on, the Wyatt family was surrounding the ring. They started whooping Dean Ambrose. So Dean Ambrose won by disqualification. Once he was laid out, Triple H music hit. He comes down to the ring. Him and Bray Wyatt actually got face to face, and the crowd bust out into very loud yes chants. Bray Wyatt rubbed his fingers over the title like those perverts on the SVU rub their fingers on their victim's face. He rubbed it on the title, and then the Wyatt family left, and Triple H was looking at him. He started taking off his suit, coat, and all that, rolling up his sleeves. Then he looked over. He saw that announcer's table, and he's like, "You know what? I told him I'd beat him on that announcer table again and teach him some respect." And he cleared it out and all that type of stuff. Got back in the ring. Dean Ambrose popped up and put him in the dirty deeds and knocked Triple H out. So that was pretty much it. Triple H got knocked out. Dean Ambrose left. Hey, thank you for watching. Give me the thumbs up. Give me the thumbs down. I love all that. Follow me on PlayTimeCares.com. Subscribe to it so you can know when this disseminate. You'll get your email message telling you when I put this out. So, follow me on everything. I'm always playtimecares.com. Keep giving me those comments. Keep helping me to improve. Playtime out.